Can an AI robot become better at living among humans by, just like a child, learning new things through play?
How are the robots doing today?
They're doing good. I think we can try some experiments.
Shall we try?
Yeah, let's try.
Shall we see if they want to play a bit?
Yes.
Okay.
Researcher Amy Loutfi is trying to find out.
What object should we take?
So my larger vision is really to contribute to the creation of the next generation of machines that not only work for us, but that work with us, and that there is a good collaboration between human and machine.
AI, or artificial intelligence, starts with machine learning. The robot receives an algorithm, a step-by-step instruction that teaches it to recognize patterns through training with large amounts of data. It then can distinguish, for example, between a cat and a dog, a chair and a table, a hammer and a dog bone, by analyzing thousands of images. The robot can then use its sensors, such as cameras and microphones, to understand its surroundings and how it should interact in the best way. The robot calculates its own movements and learns from its mistakes. It is rewarded when it achieves a result that matches the target image. In this way, it will get better and better.
So if we have a particular layer where we have the activation in one particular neuron.
When Amy, with mathematics, creates algorithms for her robots, it's about giving them curiosity to explore, to try, to fail, and to improve. This is something that she learned early on, growing up in Canada.
Yeah, as a child, I was very curious, and I was very curious in understanding how the world worked, and I was very curious in trying to look at different components and things and try and figure out, what was happening inside of them. One very sort of clear memory in my mind was seeing those calculators at the time, these small calculators. Every time I got my hands on one, I always had to take it apart. I always thought I would see something that would make me understand how it worked. Unfortunately, I never did. And each time thinking, maybe the next calculator will show me something different.
It's this curiosity and persistence that would later lead Amy to become a researcher, and also took her to Sweden and Örebro University, where she once again became captivated, but with a new subject now, AI.
It succeeded. Yeah.
I research in the area of artificial intelligence, or AI, and specifically I'm very interested on the interaction between AI and physical systems, particularly physical systems like service robots or other types of robotic systems. And what I look at in particular is how does the embodiment, so the way that the robot acts and moves in its environment, how can that impact the way the robot, for example, can learn?
Yeah, and see what it wants to do with it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how it plays.
Yes.
Amy is basing today's experiment on an algorithm where a robotic arm, through its sensors, should recognize a pen and a mug. And then through its own calculations be able to grab the pen, choose the best path, adapt its movements, and release the pen in exactly the right place, so that the mug functions as a pen holder.
Has it ever tried to put...
I suggest we rerun things.
Yeah.
And we can see both what else it is able to do, but what I'm really interested in understanding is what other affordances the robot is actually able to learn.
Amy is trying to give the robot a new algorithm that is not only focused on achieving the goal, but also rewards experimentation, or what could be called play. The idea is that a robot can learn completely new things by being curious. just like a child who learns new things both by imitating but also by playing. They just try things out of curiosity, and then they learn something new, maybe something unexpected.
You know, you're trying and you're testing new things. Some of it has a very explicit goal and purpose, but some, maybe the goal and purpose is simply to learn more about the world.
Oh, let's see what it's gonna do. I think it's just gonna play around with a pen.
Yeah, so I think it's trying to figure out what else you can do with the pen also.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Now it knows it's droppable.
Yes.
What looked like a failed kind of action, which was that dropping the pen, actually isn't so bad because we're starting to understand what you can do with a pen here. And while we can get a lot of information from these large language models that can tell us what we can do with objects, it's very important that the robot actually has that experiential process of really carrying out these actions in the real world and learning from the results of these actions.
When Amy's team can make the robot learn through play, new possibilities open up. Not only for new knowledge, but also for making the robots work better together with humans in this ever-changing world.
So I think that by allowing robots to play and be curious, what they do is they develop a much more robust model that can handle changes or unexpected situations that it hasn't necessarily been explicitly trained for by us. And the idea is, of course, that through play and curiosity, that robot understands much more of its surroundings, it understands much more of its world, and maybe also understands much more of the interactions it can expect from us.
Pepper, fist bump.
Love it. Nicely done.
Mm-hmm.